And welcome to this video where we're going to talk about how to record a stand-up, a lead-in, a bridge, a lead-out, whatever you want to call it. Basically, anytime you as a reporter are appearing on camera, we're going to talk about how to record that when you don't have professional equipment available to you. At the current time, it's 2020, it's the first day of April in 2020, and we're right in the middle of the COVID pandemic. A lot of people don't have access to professional equipment right now. If you have your own phone that records video, and you have access to someone else's phone, maybe someone in your family, a roommate, significant other, something like that, I'm going to talk about a way that you could record a really decent stand-up and have it look good and sound good. I'm right here in Davinci Resolve. Now I want to talk to you about a great app I use. I'm going to show it to you. I use an iPhone, and the app I use to do voice recording is called Voice Recorder and Audio Editor. This is what it looks like here. Here's its icon. It's a free app. It does have an in-app purchase of $5 for Voice Recorder Pro, but I actually don't use that. I just use the free version. All I do is get it recording. It looks just like an old school tape player. You push that record button and it will record for you. Now for me, I have it set to record in a format that is compatible with Macs, with Apple Macs, but is actually not compatible with Davinci Resolve. I want to show you, if I go over here into my file system, go to my iCloud drive, my voice recorder folder, this is actually the file right in here. It's the audio 330 16 38 53. If I try and drag that into Davinci Resolve, it gives me the plus sign. As soon as I try and drag it though, it doesn't do it. So if I could do it over and over again. One of the issues I have with Davinci Resolve is it doesn't tell me why it's not importing it or what's going wrong, but the reason why is because this AIFF file format, this audio format, is not compatible with Davinci Resolve. So what I had to do is I needed to right-click on it, open with another player for the Mac user, it's QuickTime Player, and then I just needed to export that. So I just came up here, once it opened in QuickTime Player, I selected File, Export As, Audio Only, and I was able to export it. I gave it a new name of Standup Audio, and it saved it as an M4A file, which is actually a different file format and one that is compatible with Davinci Resolve. Let me show you the difference. If I go in here to my desktop, go to my Lightning Strike video, my packages, sample package, stand-up, there we go. There's my stand-up audio.m4a. If I drag that into Davinci Resolve, Davinci Resolve has no issue importing that. So it just takes a quick conversion. For me using a Mac, it's QuickTime Player. You might be able to use VLC Player, something like that. Let me know if you run into a struggle with that in the comments. I'll see what I can do to help. But I also want to take these video files as well. In fact, let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and just drag all of them now that I think about it. Import every single one of them into Davinci Resolve. And I want to show you my setup. If I double click this file right here, I had a friend of mine using her iPhone to record video, and my iPhone is actually sitting right here in my pocket, and it's currently recording audio. So I have the friend recording video and audio, and I have audio being recorded right here. Now the reason why I do this is because I want to record audio as close to my face as I possibly can record it. So I've got this just, 8 inches, 12 inches away from my face, and I've got this one that's like 20 feet right through here. The audio that's being recorded here is going to be garbage. I want to make sure and have good audio here. So that's the setup. And let me show you what we hear when we have, now this is the phone that was being recorded, if I listen to it.
Okay. Rolling. The two students are in critical but stable condition.
You can hear it. I mean, it sounds like I'm really far away. It sounds like I'm 20 feet away from the camera, which makes perfect sense. I also want you to notice something. As the first thing I did is I clapped.
Rolling.
Now, there's a reason for me to do that. First of all, it's really easy to see visually that I'm clapping. As I just scrub through this, we can see the clapping. That's great. But also, I'm going to go ahead and just take this audio file down and throw it down on the timeline. We can see throughout this timeline, now I just let this roll through multiple takes, and we can see that there's actually quite a few different times where we get these really sharp things that go all the way up to the top. Those are actually times that are clapped. Now, so I can, just by looking at this, I can tell that this is a clap. Let me spot the playhead. Sure enough,
Rolling.
there's the clap. and I say rolling, I clear my throat,
The two students are in critical.
and I say the two students are in critical but stable condition. Let's listen to this one. There's the clap,
Rolling.
there's the rolling, there's the throat clear.
The two students are in critical but stable.
So I know
condition.
that is the correct one. Now, if I really wanted to be totally awesome with myself and be really the kind of guy that has a face like that all the time, I would probably tell myself, I'd say something like this is take 3 or this is take 4, something like that, so that when I try and match this, I know which audio is matching with which video. I didn't do that, but I know in listening to this that this is the correct audio for this video. I'm going to go ahead and drag this down. As I drag it, its audio comes with it. You can see if I'm not careful, I could overwrite the audio that currently exists on the timeline. I do not want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up just a little bit, which will bring the audio down 1 track. And I'm just going to align the clap, and you can see that as soon as I get that aligned, all the other waveforms start to match up. We can see there's the throat clear, or there's the rolling, there's the throat clear, and then there's where I'm speaking. We can just tell that the level is a little bit different, right? This is a higher level compared to this one, which makes sense. For this one, the audio recorder is right in my pocket. For this one, it's 20 feet away. So we would expect that the waveforms would look a little bit different in terms of their amplitude, but other than that, they'd look exactly the same. I'm going to go ahead and spot the playhead right here on the clap, command + a few times, until I'm zoomed all the way in. If you're on a PC, it's going to be Control +, and actually it's the + next to the backspace key, the + next to the backspace key that also has an equal sign with it. It's not the one on the numeric keypad if you've got a numeric keypad. What I want to do now is I'm going to move that video clip just a frame at a time until it's as perfectly synced up as possible. We can see if I've got it like that, that's not right. If I've got it like that, that's not right. I want that to be as close as possible. We can see it's not perfect, but that's okay. They were different recorders going at different times. This is actually going to sound really good. I'm going to hit Command - sign a few times to zoom back out. If I hit the play button.
Rolling. The two students are in critical.
I can see now I've got audio 1, I've got audio 2. We can see the peaking almost to the top here. But we can tell that everything's going on at the exact same time, which is exactly what we want. Now, we do not want the audio that's associated with the video. We only want the audio that's associated with the audio recording. So I need to delete this audio and link this audio with this video clip. What happens if I deselect and select the audio and hit delete, though? It deletes the video. I don't want that to happen. I'll undo that by hitting Command Z. What I need to do is unlink these now. I'll right-click on the video file, select Link Clips. I've got the checkbox there, which means they're linked. I'm going to select it one more time to unlink them. Going to click out here to deselect, click just the audio, hit the delete key, and it goes away. Now what I want to do is I want to link this audio with the new video clip, but I don't want the entire span of audio, all of the different takes that I did. I only just want this little bit in piece. So I'm going to hit my blade tool up here, or I could just hit B on the keyboard. I'm going to align the blade tool with the beginning of this video clip, but be over the top of the audio clip, and blade it. I'm going to do the same thing over here at the end. Blade it, come back to my arrow tool. Going to deselect now and select the audio, hold my Shift key down and select my video, right click now and link those up. So now we can see if I move these around, it doesn't matter where I move these, that audio is going to stay with the video. I'm going to go ahead and undo a little bit because I don't want to delete all that audio that I was overwriting. Not only that, but now that these are linked up, we can use them as a clip. There's one thing I want to check though before I do this next step. I need to make sure that, because this was mono audio recorded on my own phone, I need to make sure that it's going out to both channels. So I'm going to right-click on the audio file, and I'm going to select Clip Attributes. Go over here to the Audio tab, and sure enough, I can see it's mono, and it's only going to the mono track. Now, this can happen. When I say mono, it's probably going to both the left and right. I do want to be sure, and I know that depending on how some people record and how they import, this can be something you'll want to check. What we need to do is ensure that it goes to both channels. So I'm going to change the format of the clip to stereo, and then now I've got a left and a right channel, but embedded channel 1 is going to the left, and I've got the right channel muted. I'm just going to go ahead and drop this down and select embedded channel 1. This ensures that the clip is going to be a stereo clip with what was recorded on channel 1, which was just the one channel that was being recorded, being sent to both the left and right on the stereo channels. I'll select OK, and we know then for a fact that this audio is going both to the left and right channel. Now, if I take this clip as it's now been linked with the new audio, I can drag this right here into my media, and it exists here and can be used in my finished package timeline. In fact, I can go ahead and just click on the name with a single click, and I'll call this my lead out, because that's exactly what it is. I'll hit the return key and it's done. I know that this has good high quality audio. I know that this stuff is not quite ready to go. I want to make sure and organize this better. I'm going to right click here in my media. I'm going to select add bin. This is just really just a folder, and I'll call this finished. Now I can take my lead out and drag it right into the finished bin. Now, as long as every single stand-up, every interview I might do, everything I've done, as soon as I've linked up the audio and the video, drag that into my media, I can drag it right here into my finished bin. When I double click on that finished bin, all of my pieces will be ready to go, and I'll be able to build my package. We'll do that on a future video. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I want to answer all questions and help you with any problems you might be having. And thanks for joining me. Take care.